What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video I'm going to be using the best Skeleton King deck right now in the game. So you guys can see here, it synergizes really well with Graveyard, and this deck too has Witch in it, which might be interesting because you guys might think, you know, the Witch isn't that strong of a card, but in this Graveyard deck with the Skeleton King, because it spawns skeletons, there's so many skeletons, the Skarmy too, you know, the Graveyard, it's kind of crazy, so there's tons of different, you know, units you have to bait your opponent's spells. You got the Inferno Drag, which is going to be really solid on defense against tanks, and also even on offense paired, you know, with the Graveyard can be difficult to stop if you have it tanking for the Graveyard, if you don't have the Skeleton King in cycle. Cage is going to be a really good defensive structure. It's better than the Tesla in this type of deck, even though I think the Tesla is overall a better building in the game. It's nice to have that Brawler because it's another tank that you can use to go for a Graveyard off of. And then Fireball Arrows are going to be really good spells to have in this Graveyard deck. Fireball to take out Mother Witch, which is so good against Graveyard, so you have a direct counter to that. And Fireball plus Arrows also kills the Archer Queen, which is super strong right now. So I'm 8-0 right now, really solid start in this Grand Challenge. Before we head into the first game, if you guys would like to support me, you can use my creator code BOSS in any super solid game. Really do appreciate all the support from you guys. It does mean a lot. But with that being said, let's head into the first game here, and hopefully we can make it to 12 wins. Alright guys, we found our first game here against Revolution. Also guys, please subscribe if you guys don't want to miss any of my content. Would really appreciate that. And I'm gonna have to do a lot of, I think, Grand Challenge videos for a while, because with the level 14 update and the champions, it's going to be a while before I max everything, so hopefully you guys are fine with Grand Challenge videos, because there's going to be very few decks I'm going to be able to play on ladder unless I spend a ton of money to max them, which I'm not sure I'm going to do. I mean, I'll have to see. I don't know how much money it would exactly cost, but all I know is the gold is going to be the hardest thing for me to get. Here, I'm going to go for a Graveyard, and then I'm going to activate the... Oh, okay, it died right when I activated it. What? We got the Elixir back. Let's go. That's something that I think is really OP. The fact that if you waste a champion's ability, you get the Elixir back anyway. So here I'm going to Fireball. And then, yeah, I was going to say I was worried about him activating the ability, so I went for the arrows too, just to make sure that we finished that off. So we're fine. I mean, we had to overcommit a little bit on defense, but overall, I mean, we could be in a worse situation, right? So he's just going to go Ghost. I think we'll wait a little bit and then just play our Witch to counter that, and then we'll see if he decides to go for a spell or something on it. He's going to go for a Lightning, so we'll go for a Skeleton Army here on his Ghost and see what he's going to do. I think he has a Ramrider. Because I saw a deck similar to this. I think it's Ramrider as his win condition. I'm pretty confident. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure. I'll just Inferno Drag this, and he's going to go for the Queen, so I'll probably Fireball that, try to propel it forward a little bit to hope that the Inferno Drag can take it out. I don't think it will, because he's probably going to... Oh, he didn't activate the ability. Wow, so that was really good for me. I'll go for my Skeleton King now. I feel like we can finally start to build a push now that we're in double. He's going to go for his Mega Knight. I guess we should try to bait out a Lightning here, then we can Inferno Drag, of course, to take out the Mega Knight, which would be really good. So, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Not a good opportunity for me to activate the ability on the Skeleton King. I don't want to waste the Elixir. So he's going to go for the Queen there. I'm going to go for my Witch. And then he won't be able to activate the ability again, so we're going to be completely fine here. So that's good. And I'm going to Skeleton King. We're going to get a lot of souls because of the Witch spawning those skeletons and everything's dying. Okay. Hopefully we can get that to stay alive. It does. I'm actually going to go ahead and activate the ability now before it dies. I'm going to go for a Witch here. Look at all these skeletons we're getting. He has to go for the Bar Barrel, but now look at all the skeletons from the King. Skeleton King. Oh man, he's getting overwhelmed. I mean, look at that. We're getting so many skeletons. I'm going to go Skarmy in the other lane. It's a skeleton army. More like a skeleton, like, party. I mean, look at all these skeletons. It's ridiculous. I'm going to go for a Skeleton King here. He's probably going to Lightning this if he's smart. Yeah, he is. We're going to go for the ability here before it dies, though, and try to force maybe a Barbarrel out of him, and then if he Barbarrels it, I can go for a Graveyard. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. The skeletons from the Skeleton King bait out their Graveyard counters, and then you can use it, and right here, look at how much damage we're getting. I mean, he only had a Ghost, but that's not going to be enough. I mean, the Ghost almost nearly dies in the process of defending that Graveyard, and we get so much damage on top of his tower. So that was a pretty successful Graveyard, if you ask me. Looks like he ended up dropping the Mega Knight in the wrong lane. I'm going to try to go for my Skeleton King now and try to take advantage of that. The only problem is... Okay, let's activate the... Oh, he just went for a... Okay, so... I forgot what he just did, but I knew it was a good time to send in the Graveyard. I think he Bar-Barreled. I think that's what it was. But anyway, we're getting some solid damage with the Graveyard again. He's probably going to go for a Mega Knight here on both of these Witches, so we got to watch out for that. And there's the Ramrider. That's what I thought he had. I knew it. He just hasn't been able to play it all game. We're just going to go arrows here to help take everything out, and this defense should be pretty clean here. Goes for the lightning. It's not going to take out the brawler, and look at this. Things are just looking so solid for us right now. We're going to go for the Graveyard here. We're going to activate the Skeleton King's ability before it dies, and I think this might be GG. Even in this push here, we might be able to take this one. And yeah, that is going to do it. Arrows, I think, will be... Yep, there we go. So that is going to be GG. Nice first win there against, I would say, one of the best decks in this meta. A lot of people were using the deck he's running on ladder last season, but we had no problem winning that there. 9-0 right now. Only 3 wins away to get the 12. And, oh, there we go. I didn't even have to say, so you guys want to find the next match, because I found it immediately. There's a lot of people playing GCs right now, testing out the new champions, so search times are not nearly as long, I noticed. Alright, so I think here we can just chill for a little bit, see if this guy wants to make a move. I could cycle my arrows after a few seconds if he's not going to do anything, but I don't really think starting the game with a Skeleton King is a very good idea because, I mean, I don't know, I think you typically want to wait until they drop something so you can collect souls with it. So here, it's okay because he did just spend 2 elixir, but still, I would have rather not done that, but kind of my cycle, that was the best thing to do. So we can go for the Queen. I guess I'm just going to Fireball it, push it forward. He does activate the ability, though. So we'll try... Okay, we'll go for the Cage here. And I guess we're just going to go for a Skarmy here to try to take everything out. Hopefully he can't... Oh, that was so clutch. I was so worried that the Queen was going to stay alive, and then he would have been able to, of course, activate her ability, and then I would have had to arrow overcommit to take it out, but luckily it went down. So, might be a repeat of the last deck I just played against, because, like I said, the deck is one of the best ones in the game. I mean, he's got the Ramrider, he's got the Queen, so it's looking like it could be the same thing. It could also be P.E.K.K.A, now that I think about it, because, yeah, he's got the E-Wiz. So, I think we're going to go Inferno Drag opposite lane. I don't want to Inferno Drag into an E-Wiz. That's not a very smart decision, because it's a really good counter to it, obviously. And from here, we'll just Fireball to push back that Bandit and go for a Graveyard, because we have the Inferno Drag down. Does he activate the ability? Yes, he does, but we're still going to get a little bit of damage from the Graveyard and force a solid amount of elixir out of him. He had to spend a Queen and a Zap, which is 7. And then Skarmy here, he doesn't have the ability back because it hasn't been 8 seconds yet, so we got good value there. Go for a Cage. I'm a little scared about a Lightning, but I don't know if he has it yet. I just don't think he has a Lightning if he has a, you know, a Zap. It just wouldn't make sense. Oh my gosh, he has both. Are you kidding me? The ability didn't come down. Do we get our elixir back? Wait, we didn't get our elixir back like I did before. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, I'm going to go for an Inferno Drag. And he didn't reset the Inferno Drag, but I failed to prevent that Ramrider from connecting, but it could have been way worse. At least the P.E.K.K.A is not going to make it. Okay, we're going to Fireball that. I might also arrow it immediately just because I don't want to have to deal with it. Actually, we might not have to because that was a bad ability. It's going to maybe die to this Brawler now. Yep, so that works, I guess. And we still have the lead, actually. A very small lead, but a lead regardless. We're going to go for a Skarmy here. And I guess Cage, because we kind of have to. So we can go Ramrider. Alright, I'm going to fireball this. I hate doing this because then I won't have it for the queen, but he just gave me so much value there. The fact that we were able to also hit that. Alright, I'll tell you what. Let's play the Skeleton King a little lower here so those skeletons die and we get some souls collected. And then I'm going to make sure I activate the ability this time before it dies. We do it. We get it off just in the nick of time. And hopefully... Okay, he just used his E-Wiz, so now we can try to abuse our Inferno Drag here on this P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to go for a Skarmy over here so he can't zap the... he's unable to reset it. And he's going to go for a Ram Rider. Very aggressive in this lane, so let's just go for a Cage here. We should be fine. Lightning comes in, but Oh, no. That Bandit... Oh, we're fine, though, because look at how much damage we got from the Inferno Drag on the right lane. This game is going to be really close, though. He's probably going to zap this, so we got to watch out for that. This game is going to be so close. We got to keep going for naked graveyards just to get damage. But... Oh my gosh, let's go. I didn't know how much damage Lightning did at level 11. It's barely not enough, so we're able to keep our lead. 42 hit points. Whew. That was a close one, and I have to say, I don't think that was easy because his E-Wiz is really good against the Inferno Drag. He had Bar Barrel, he had Zap, he had a lot of good spells. The only thing that saved us is the fact he didn't have a great counter to our graveyard. He had to spend a lot of elixir on that, so that was able to win us the game. But 10-0 right now, looking really, really solid here. Only 2 more wins to go. Let's see if we can get the clean 12-0. And again, we find the game pretty quickly, so no need to edit out any search time. We're against Charlotte here. So... Did I just say Charlotte? Charla? What? By the way, guys, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. I might be a really good substitute teacher in the future. So, I'm going to fireball this. You see how everyone's using Queen? It's just obvious Queen is the best champion when you see this many people running it. So, I don't know what that knight was. He kind of wasted that because the Queen didn't even cross the bridge. We're going to collect some souls here, and we could probably activate the ability pretty soon. I think I'm even just going to go in here with the ability, just go all in, because... I don't know, I feel like we're in a pretty good situation to just do that. I'm going to activate it here. He's going to go Queen. Look at all the skeletons. Oh my gosh. Are we going to win off of the first push? I think we are. He's calling a game. Oh, man. Oh my god, he already gave up. Skeleton King OP. And he just activated the ability... on nothing. I think he just gave up, right? Let's try to 3-crown and we'll end his misery really quickly. Oh, man. Okay, well, there you go. And I was just talking about how Skeleton King is the worst champion, and we just 3-crowned him. So I'll just shut up. It's obviously the best champion in the game. You heard it here first. You saw it here first. 11-0. Here we go. So many people are playing GCs now. It's nice. The game, I feel like the update definitely made the game more popular. People are grinding GCs again, which is really nice to see. People are excited to be able to play like all the champions and grand challenges. And yeah, it's just cool to see. So this guy probably using Expo. I mean, you see the archers, you see the knight. So is this going to be our first opponent who is not using Queen? It might be, unless he's using Queen instead of, like, the Ice Spirit or the something. I don't know. Anyway, I think what we should do is try to be passive until... Okay, he's got Lightning. That's good, because I'm not using Queen. But anyway, I was saying, I think what we should do is be passive until double Elixir, because we obviously have a more expensive deck than what he's running. And he's going to go for the Expo now. I'm going to go for the Skeleton King. And The only problem is the Skeleton King I don't think is a great counter to the oh no, he's up so much elixir. If he gets back to another expo right now, I feel like I'm really screwed. The only thing I can try to do is Inferno Drag, but he's up, I think, like 4 elixir. Yeah, look at that. So the only thing I can do is try to get an Inferno Drag to lock on, but if I don't, I'm in a lot of trouble. Please, that needs to take it out. If not, I lost. Okay, good, good. He wasn't able to reset the Inferno Drag, so we're fine. We're almost in double. I mean, we're not really fine. I did lose over a third of my tower, but at least we got a chance, right? We got a chance. That's all that matters. If I lost, you know, any more of my tower, we would have for sure lost. But we're in a situation where, you know, we got a small chance, so I'll take it, I guess. It's better than nothing. But you guys already know, Expo typically does do pretty good against graveyard decks. And not just this one. I mean, really any graveyard deck, like Splash Yard or... you guys know, it's so difficult because it's really easy for them to get an Expo lock early on, and then it's really hard for you to get damage. I mean, they got the log, they got the archers, and even though you got arrows for the archers, in this case, they have a faster cycle, so it's going to be a toughie for sure. I think here, I'm just going to Fireball the Expo. If he gets a tiny bit of chip damage on my tower, I guess I'm going to have to live with it. I didn't want to waste a Witch just to... Now I kind of wish I did, but, you know, it's alright, I guess. Like I said, this is a tough matchup, so if I lose it, it's not the end of the world, I suppose. But, you know, we'll see. He could always throw. You never know what could happen. I'm going to have to play a really, really low cage to ensure that the... Okay, let's Fireball both of these. This is a good Fireball opportunity. Nice, nice. Yeah, this is not looking too great for us, though, not going to lie. He just keeps on going for those defensive expos, which is pretty obnoxious. I'm going to just activate here before it dies. But it should be pretty easy defense, I think. I would assume, at least. What? Well, I mean, it forced a lot of elixir out of him, actually. So, not as easy as I thought it would be for him. Anyway. He's just going to go for another defensive expo. I'm going to, again, go for a low cage. Okay, we'll Skeleton King. I forgot he had lightning. He hardly used that the whole game, so I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot he had that, believe it or not. You just typically don't think of an Expo player having lightning. That's probably why I forgot. So yeah, I guess we're just going to Graveyard, and we might have to try to Fireball this. I don't know. Yeah, this, I mean, we're getting some damage, but we only have time for probably one more Graveyard push, maybe 2 if we're lucky. But yeah, I hate Expo so much. I think it's like the most annoying deck in the game. I know Molt agrees with me on that. I just hate it so much. I'm sorry for you guys if you're an Expo main, but I hate it. It's the most annoying. It's just the most annoying thing to play against. You know, because they get that Expo lock early on, and then they just turtle up, play defense the rest of the game. But yeah, we got hard counter there. Not too much we can do. We made a pretty good effort to come back, but like as you can see, the Electro Spirit 2 just makes that matchup even worse. Like if he had Ice Spirit, I probably could have won that, because then at least he wouldn't be able to have a pretty solid counter to the graveyard besides the archers, because the Electro Spirit of course chains, and the Ice Spirit wouldn't have gotten nearly as much value. But yeah, it was hard. I guess, to be fair, he did have Knight. If he had Valk, it would have been even more difficult. But anyway, like I said, I don't mind losing to... You know, I hate Expo, but I don't mind losing that matchup because I don't know. I think it's pretty difficult. But anyway, hopefully we can at least get 12-1. Okay, so we're in a game against Pompeo here. We'll go ahead and give him the good luck. I'm pretty sure this is a real Pompeo. I can check his profile after the game. He's, you know, obviously pretty good player. We can, okay, he's just gonna bar barrel, so we'll go for a Skarmy here and see what he's using. So we can go for a Queen and a Bandit. I was wondering if that Bandit was gonna go in the other lane, so I'm just gonna go for a Witch here. He's gonna Fireball. Okay, so we have to Fireball that because otherwise it would have gotten so much damage on my tower. I don't know if he's using... He's probably using that Ramrouter deck, the one that I played against at the beginning of the video, the broken one. That's what I would assume he's using. He does have a Dark Prince, though, so I don't know. It's a bridge spam deck of some form. It has to be, I feel like. Just gonna go for an Inferno Drag. Okay, we'll go for our own. I'm definitely not gonna activate the ability here, because there'd be no point. I have nothing supporting the king. But here we definitely can go for a Witch. And... okay, he's gonna go for the Queen. I have to arrow that. Cage this. Okay, Mega Knight. Alright. This is gonna be interesting for sure. He might Lightning this. Try to block that so the Ramrider goes in front. Oh, I forgot he had Fireball. I actually completely forgot about that. Alright, that should be fine for defense for sure. I'm gonna Skeleton King. We're about to get a lot of souls here from those skeletons. Oh, and look at that Witch putting in work on that Dark Prince. Alright, so now we're gonna go for a Witch in the right lane here on this Inferno Drag. Fireballs that, that's fine, I guess. Let's set up a cage and see what he wants to do from there. I guess I just might as well arrow that because my cycle's not the best, so I don't really have a better play. But I don't know, this match isn't going too well. It's just kind of what this video is showing you guys is how much more broken the Queen is than the Skeleton King. That's kind of what this video proves, if anything. Arrow this, I guess. And the only thing we can do is Skarmy, because his Fireball can't hit all of that, but yeah, we're not doing too well right now. Let's, I guess, activate the ability this time. Let's actually get something rolling here. Go for a Graveyard. Yeah, this is so difficult. I mean, it's not even like he has an amazing counter to the... to the Graveyard. It's more so that the Skeleton King is just so much worse than the Archer Queen. But yeah, there's not too much we can do. Oh well. Now we're 11-2. Not exactly the situation I wanted to be in, but it is what it is. Alright. Last chance. Here we go. Pug OP. So he's gonna go for Split Hogs. Witch here. Okay, nice. I guess I'm gonna Skeleton King in front of this Witch, and I might just go all in here on the first push. I don't know. Activate It gets down in time. The witch is still alive. Oh my gosh! Oh. Well, how about that? How about that? Well, that's quite the good start to the game, if I do say so myself. We just fireball these pigs. I don't want to go for my Skarmy because I didn't know if he had a, I don't know, like a log, but I don't think he has a log. I think he has just a delivery because he would have probably used the log on the graveyard if he had it. I just think he's got a delivery. Delivery and Earthquake are probably his two spells. But man, what an incredible start to the game. I mean, we already took, in a way, I think it is kind of his fault because he shouldn't have gone pigs that aggressively, and I got an amazing counter push off of it. That's why going pigs first play definitely can hurt you. It's not something I do very often. And you can kind of see why right there. But anyway, I'm going to go for a cage here. And I'm probably going to arrow that just because I don't... do I want to? Maybe I'll just Skeleton King. And I know he's going to ability, but at least... Do we get the elixir back since the ability didn't go off? I don't know. He's going to go delivery on the graveyard, but he's going to need more than that, and we're still going to get a little bit of damage, so that honestly is good for me, I think. Alright. He goes for pigs. I guess we just cage here. Goes in for the earthquake, but it's not going to allow him to get too much damage. He does have log. Why didn't he use the log on that first graveyard? Unless I'm forgetting something, he definitely should have. So there we go. We were able to get the ability off. Let's definitely go for a graveyard here. Look at all the skeletons piling up. There we go. We got some damage. I'm going to arrow here. And Fireball will be able to finish off the game. Let's go. We're going to be able to get the 12 wins. Despite us getting those 2 losses to, I would say, matchups that were really, really difficult. We're able to close out the GC here. There we go. That's a true GC. 12-2 with 2 losses that I wish I didn't get, but hey, I mean, no one said GCs are supposed to be easy, right? Or at least too easy. So let's go ahead and open up our chest here, and yeah, that'll be it for the video. Hope you guys ended up enjoying it, and I guess this is kind of proof that the Skeleton King is, you know, probably not awful. I mean, I don't think it's that good. I think it could maybe use a slight buff, but, you know, doesn't suck too bad. I mean, and I think this kind of proved it. So, yeah, a couple losses. I mean, first of all, this one, Pompeo is obviously, like, a pretty good player, but also I think it's a difficult matchup, and the queen is just broken. And Expo obviously counters Graveyard most of the time, except Giant Graveyard, but that's about it. Usually Expo has a pretty good matchup against Graveyard. But yeah, that's going to be it. Make sure to... oh, that's not the deck. Oh, never mind. I don't want to... Anyway, the deck's on the screen anyway, on the top right. But anyway, make sure to like it if you guys did end up enjoying it. Subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.